Have you ever wondered why some people seem excessively self-centered, often to the detriment of those around them? This is a question many of us have asked ourselves at one point or another, and the answer may be found in a single word: narcissism. Narcissism, as a term, has its roots in Greek mythology, where the handsome young man Narcissus fell in love with his own reflection, unable to tear himself away until he eventually wasted away. In the realm of psychology, narcissism refers to a personality disorder, a complex and multifaceted phenomenon characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep-seated craving for admiration, and a striking lack of empathy for others. But this isn't about vanity or self-love. It's about an overwhelming preoccupation with the self, to the exclusion of others, even those who are closest. It's about a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, entitlement, manipulation, and the unending pursuit of validation. This personality disorder can have profound implications on relationships. It can create a toxic environment where emotional needs are neglected, boundaries are violated, and the narcissist's needs always take center stage. This can lead to emotional distress, feelings of worthlessness, and even psychological trauma for those in close proximity to the narcissist. Narcissism isn't confined to one gender, and it doesn't discriminate. It can manifest in anyone, regardless of background, upbringing, or societal status. However, the way it expresses itself can vary between males and females, due to both biological and sociocultural factors. Understanding narcissism is crucial, not only for those who may be dealing with a narcissist in their life, but also for those who may be grappling with these tendencies themselves. Awareness is the first step towards change, and change is the first step towards healing. In our journey to understand this enigma, it's important to remember that while narcissism is a disorder, it doesn't define a person entirely. Everyone has the potential for growth, change, and improvement. Now let's delve deeper into the distinct ways narcissism manifests in males and females. When it comes to male narcissists, their behavior can be quite pronounced and easily identifiable. Diving into the world of male narcissism, it's important to note that the behaviors and signs can be quite distinctive. One of the most glaring traits is an inflated sense of importance. It's not just about having high self-esteem. It's about believing that one is superior to others and deserving of special treatment. This belief is often unsupported by any real-world accomplishments or skills. A male narcissist often has a constant need for admiration. Compliments are their lifeblood, their fuel. They thrive on being the center of attention and often go to great lengths to ensure they remain in the spotlight. It's not uncommon for them to exaggerate their achievements or talents, all in a bid to secure the admiration they crave. Then there's a sense of entitlement, as if the world owes them something simply for existing. This can manifest in expecting others to cater to their every whim without question or complaint. They believe their needs and desires should always take precedence over those of others, whether in personal relationships or professional settings. And perhaps most damaging of all is their tendency to exploit others for personal gain. This exploitation can take many forms, from emotional manipulation to outright deceit. The male narcissist is often unconcerned with the feelings or well-being of others, focusing solely on what they can get out of the situation. These behaviors are not just harmful to the narcissist himself, but can cause significant distress to those around him. The toxicity can permeate relationships, workplaces, and even social circles, often leaving a trail of emotional wreckage in its wake. But remember, not all who exhibit these traits are narcissists. It's important to note that narcissism is a spectrum, and these behaviors must be pervasive, persistent, and outside the norms of respect and empathy to classify someone as a narcissist. Understanding these signs can help us navigate our interactions with male narcissists better. But what about female narcissists? How do they behave? Female narcissists, while sharing some traits with their male counterparts, often display their narcissism in more subtle and nuanced ways. Let's delve into the complex world of the female narcissist. While they may not be as blatantly obvious in their approach, they exhibit behaviors that can be equally detrimental. One of the first indicators is an overriding preoccupation with appearance. This isn't merely about looking good, but rather about maintaining an image of perfection and superiority. It's a facade, a mask they use to project an idealized version of themselves to the world. This perfectionist tendency extends beyond physical appearance. Female narcissists also strive for perfection in their social standing, careers, and even in their children's accomplishments. They are driven by a deep-seated fear of not measuring up, which they mask with a facade of superiority. Another sign is a tendency to play the victim. Female narcissists are masters at manipulating emotions and twisting narratives to suit their needs. They are skilled at evoking sympathy and using it as a tool to control and manipulate those around them. They may portray themselves as the wronged party or the underdog in order to garner support, attention, or to justify their actions. Interpersonal relationships are another arena where the female narcissist's manipulative behaviors come to light. They may use guilt, blame shifting, or gaslighting to maintain control. They might also engage in what's known as triangulation, where they involve a third person in the relationship dynamic to create tension, competition, or to manipulate the narrative. While these behaviors may seem confusing and even contradictory, they are all part of the female narcissist's strategy for maintaining control and feeding their need for validation. It's important to remember that narcissism isn't about confidence or self-esteem, but about a distorted self-image and an insatiable need for external validation. Recognizing these signs can give us a clearer understanding of female narcissists. But how can we summarize what we've learned about narcissism? Narcissism, regardless of gender, can cause significant distress and harm to those who come in contact with it. This is a truth we've explored in depth today, and as we move on to our key takeaways, it's essential to keep this in mind. Narcissism is a complex personality disorder that manifests differently in males and females, but the core traits remain the same. Whether male or female, a narcissist is likely to exhibit grandiosity, a lack of empathy, a need for admiration, and a tendency to manipulate others for their own gain. These traits can be subtle or overt, but they are always harmful to those on the receiving end. For the male narcissist, these traits often materialize in an overt manner. They may display a sense of superiority, a constant need for attention, and a disregard for others' feelings. They may also exhibit aggressive behaviors and a tendency to belittle or devalue others to elevate themselves. On the other hand, female narcissists often display these traits in more covert ways. They may use manipulation and guilt to control those around them, or they may seek to gain sympathy and attention through victimhood. Their narcissism can also manifest as a pursuit of perfection, both in themselves and in others, which can lead to damaging expectations and criticisms. But no matter the gender, the damage caused by narcissism is real and significant. It can lead to emotional abuse, strained relationships, and a disregard for others' feelings and needs. Understanding these signs is crucial for our mental and emotional health. By recognizing these traits, we can better protect ourselves and maintain healthier relationships. And so, we circle back to the importance of knowledge and understanding. By understanding the signs of narcissism, we can better navigate our relationships and interactions, ensuring we don't fall prey to the manipulations of a narcissist. Recognizing the signs of narcissism in those around us can help us protect our well-being and maintain healthier relationships. Remember, knowledge is power, and it's our most potent weapon against the harm caused by narcissistic behavior. As we wrap up our exploration of narcissism, it's important to remember one thing. Narcissism, like any other personality trait, isn't simply black and white. It's a spectrum, and people can fall anywhere along this spectrum. What we've discussed today isn't meant to demonize or vilify those with narcissistic tendencies. Rather, it's meant to shed light on patterns of behavior that can be harmful, both for the individual exhibiting them and the people around them. In understanding narcissism, it's crucial to approach with empathy. Many times, these tendencies are born from deeply rooted insecurities and past traumas. It's a coping mechanism, a way of protecting oneself, albeit a destructive one. It's not a choice they consciously make. Remember, everyone fights battles we know nothing about. Compassion and understanding can go a long way in navigating interactions with those who display narcissistic tendencies. However, empathy should not come at the cost of your own well-being. It's important to set boundaries and protect yourself from the potential harm a narcissistic individual can cause. If you find yourself in a relationship with a narcissist, whether it's a partner, a friend, or a family member, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors can provide the tools and strategies needed to manage these relationships effectively, without sacrificing your own mental and emotional health. As we've seen, narcissism isn't confined by gender. Male or female, it manifests in different ways, but the underlying issues remain the same. Understanding these nuances can help us better navigate our relationships and interactions, leading to healthier and more fulfilling connections. In closing, let's remember that knowledge is power. The more we understand about narcissism, the better equipped we are to handle it. This doesn't just apply to narcissism, but to all aspects of human behavior. We all have the capacity to grow, to change, and to better understand one another. Remember, understanding is the first step towards better interactions and healthier relationships. Stay strong, stay informed, and take care.